everybody, and welcome to another round of coffee and questions. And what's today's topic? We were discussing on the forum this Bernzomatic TS8000 high-intensity trigger start torch. Now, I own one of these. I've owned it for a while, and it's a great little tool to have. So what we're going to focus in on today is why this is such a great buy at the price that it is, which is $42.97. And I'll explain that to you in a second. I don't know how long these will have this sale price here for, but this is a great bargain compared to, that TS4000. So let me show you a comparison real quick and we'll get right to the questions and the answers. So here's what I mean by why it's such a great deal right now. You can get it at $42.97 until they remove this sale price. Now that's compared to the TS4000, which is $37.97. So for a few dollars more, you can actually own a much better torch. So I would suggest, if you're thinking about buying these, you just pay the few extra dollars and get the other one. But now comes the reasons why you want one over the other for the few dollars. Let me switch back to the other picture and we'll go right down the list and I'll explain to you what I believe to be a good value here. The first reason that you would want to buy the TS8000, which is really the higher end one, it's going to burn hotter. It'll burn a lot hotter. Well, not a lot, but it burns a lot hotter to some degree than the TS4000. Auto start, stop ignition, easily ignites and extinguishes a flame. That's true. You hit that button, it sparks, the torch is just live right then, and you let go of it and it's off. So that part's true. I find it really handy. I leave it on a bottle. I have it on my workbench. I can just reach over, grab it, hit the trigger, and I'm flying along. Second thing on here says it provides, maximum heat output for large diameter soldering, brazing, heat treating, and light welding. Well, I have a MIG welder and oxyacetylene, so I don't use it for welding. I haven't even tried it. For brazing, yes, it works. Soldering, yes. And just heating up like nuts, bolts, and things in general, it works perfectly fine for me, in my hobbies and my handyman type shop that I have in my garage. So those things are very true. For best results, use MAP gas. Now, I did another thing on MAP gas versus propane. MAP gas does not burn that much hotter. It only burns a little bit hotter, and you're paying a pretty hefty price. So go back, take a look at what I did in the research that I did on MAP gas versus propane. I got a whole video on that. And the Bernzomatic that I do have, all in that same video. If you just, go back through my videos, you'll see it. Cast aluminum body construction, yeah, that's true. Pressure regulated for consistent performance. When tilted or inverted, yeah, that's true. You can tilt this thing, invert it, do whatever you want, and it keeps burning consistently. Adjustable flame control knob, yeah, that's true. You can adjust the flame control, so that's good for different things, like when I'm burning wood projects, or I'm doing any kind of heating where I want to focus the heat more than just some broad torch. And we've all seen them out at Lowe's and Home Depot, where you can get just the screw-on, type tips with a knob, and it's the same consistency all the time. This one you can actually adjust the flame, which is a nice little addition, I think. Okay, let's jump right into the forums questions. I'll also pull some of them off the reviews to see if we can answer the things that are important. And, this is something for you to consider. If you need one right now, just for a few dollars more, it's a great value. I don't know how long it'll be on sale for. Somebody made the comment in the forums, a lot of these things went on sale at Christmas time, and they'll probably hold a lot of the sales through the new year. So after that, I don't know how long it'll be on sale, but it ships prime, so you don't have to worry about shipping either. Well, what's the difference between the two, the 4000 and the 8000? Well, like I said, it generates a much higher temperature. Now, if you're just doing light wood burning and goofing around and stuff, you can get by with the, the TS4000, but why? Pay a few dollars more and you're going to get a much better quality, Bernzomatic torch. That's my advice to you. And one of the comments on here, somebody said that they've got a torch like this and that it started having trouble igniting, staying lit, and so forth. There's lots of comments on the forum about this. A lot of times what's happened is the insides of this have gotten crud on them or some type of micro speck or something. Take it apart, clean all the brass out super well, and make sure all the openings are nice and clear. Put it back together and you shouldn't have a problem. Or it could be just it's old and no good anymore. But if it's not that old, generally what's speaking, it's it's because of dirty and debris, it gets in them and interferes, with the flame itself. So just take it apart and clean it. Question, will Bernzomatic sell replacement parts? No, not to my knowledge, they don't. You just have to get rid of it and buy another one. I don't think they're going to sell you replacement parts for one of these torches. So just plan on buying another one. Can you use this torch hands-free? Yes, you can. There's a little lock on it. You just push it down, when the torch is ignited, and it'll stay ignited. I've done that before by setting it on my workbench, and then I have a continuous flame for heating up whatever I'm doing. So yeah, you can do that. Comment off of one of the things is, can you put this on larger, propane tanks? Yeah, you can. The thread sizes just have to match up and be accurate. Now, if you run into a situation where the threads aren't, you can always find an adapter down at the hardware store and make it work. So the answer in one way is yes. Now, I've never done it. That's just what I'm reading about on the forums. But they will, generally fit, universal threading. But if you have something that's out of whack, that's, one fix to it. Comment on here that the TS4000, works real well. The TS8000, the one that we're talking about, is messier. Now, I don't know what you mean by messier, so if you want to post, a comment, at the bottom of the video, let me know why you think it's messier and be more clear. That's fine, but I own it. It works great. Yeah, you're going to notice on, the site when you go through the reviews, there are other people that buy it for searing meat and food. So yeah, I mean, you can use it for cooking too. That's not my use for it, and it's not what I use it for. So I can't comment really on, searing and, any kind of food cooking with it. I use it in home hobbies and handyman type stuff. I'm reading on here, somebody made the comment, what's the difference between the TS8000 BT and the TS1000 AC that includes the fuel tank that's sold at like Home Depot? There is no difference. It's just packaging. I mean, it's the exact same, torch. And what's the warranty period? If you buy it from Amazon, like I'm showing you here, and I'll leave a link below in the description to click on, you get 30-day return warranty with Amazon. After that, you're going to have to deal with Bernzomatic directly. So that's the way the warranty works. But I haven't had a problem. I've had mine for, 3-4 years or more now. Works beautifully, never needed the warranty. Hopefully anybody buying them has got the same luck. A comment, look, I disagree. You're telling me you disagree with what I'm saying in terms of MAP gas, versus the propane. Okay, you can do the research that I did. I'll make this really easy for you because you're wrong, and I'll tell you why. The propane itself, when you screw it on there, the temperature is going to reach right around 3,600 degrees Fahrenheit. If you run MAP gas, you gain a little bit. It'll go to 3,730. But you're paying a lot more for that MAP gas. So unless you have a specific need that requires it, don't get ripped off by it, just buy the propane. If you have a specific need, that's a different ballgame if you need those extra degrees. That's my point. A lot of people buy into the fact, oh, MAP gas, and they run out and they buy, 2-3 MAP gas bottles, and they're really never using it to get the benefit of the additional degrees of heat. So you're better off just using the propane. That's my point, and it's a money-saving tip. Yeah, I'd buy this one again. I've used it for brazing and soldering, not for welding. I can't comment on welding, and I can't comment on repairing cast aluminum or anything like that. I've never used it for that. But for the things that I mentioned, this is my use, my experience that I'm sharing with you. Somebody else, drop it in the comment below. Let me know, how you're using it, if you're using it on other things and what I'm talking about. But it works great for the things that I'm mentioning. Can the torch be used with a 1-pound disposable propane tank? Yeah, it can. I haven't used it that way, but I know that it can from everybody that's, talking on the forum. So yes. Yeah, it's the green propane tanks, sold out at Home Depot. It works fine, screws on fine. You won't have any problems with it. I'm a comment on here where somebody said that they bought one and the adjustment knob is completely stuck despite turning it, trying to turn it either way. And then somebody wrote a comment, they took a pair of channel lock pliers and turned it gently counterclockwise, and that freed it and haven't had any issues since. Now, I haven't run into that kind of a problem. If it was me, I would have just returned it. Can you use it with a 20-pound propane tank if you manage to put it together with an adapter hose? I'm reading that off of the comments here, and the answer is you can. I don't see why not. Not something I've tried, but they say that you can do it. Another comment, somebody's using it for much longer use. Can you take a 5-gallon propane bottle using the hose attachments, hook it up and use it that way? And the answer is yes. There are people on the forum that have done it that way. I have not personally done that, but if you have that kind of a project or projects where you're going to use that much and you want to attach the hose and so forth, yeah, they say that you can do it very easily. I just have not tried it. There's a comment on here, somebody just bought theirs and the flame's very wide and they can't control it. What do they do? Well, you can adjust the gas flow so that the flame, comes to a pointed tip. It's like non-flickering, and it works, I think, the best way that way. But you can adjust the flame to, however you want. You can make it a little bit broader, wider, or you can narrow it down. I just find a comfortable setting, and I'm not using it for anything like jewelry making or anything, so I don't worry about it. But yeah, you can adjust the flame. Somebody made the comment, look, you have to unscrew the tank after using it every single time so that the gas doesn't leak out and you don't deplete the tank. I haven't had that problem on this TS8000. I leave the propane tank on this torch. I leave it on my workbench. It's been there for 6-8 months. I still hit the trigger. So it could be, a matter of in the seals or something that you're talking about. I don't know. I've never had a problem with it leaking out the gas. I leave it attached all the time. Just grab it and use it when I need to. Question, is this a blowtorch or is it a pencil flame unit? No, it's a blowtorch, not a pencil flame. Does it come with a stand? No, it comes just like I showed you in the packaging. Unless you're going to buy this torch attachment. Now, I don't have any need for the torch attachment. It really jacks up the price. I just wanted the torch. That's all I bought. So I can't speak, about that torch, with the attachment at 117, 97. But no, there's no stand with it either. And no, it doesn't include any gas bottles. You have to buy those separately. But that was the reason why we were talking about, the propane versus the MAP gas and, which you might want to buy along with getting one of these if you're going to. I would just tell you to start off with the propane. It's inexpensive and it works perfectly fine. Yeah, I see somebody always ask that question, where is it made? Well, this is made in the USA. Everybody wonders sometimes where these things are made. I don't know if it makes that big of a difference, but it is made in the USA if it concerns you. Another question, do I believe that it can cut through steel? No, it doesn't get that hot. It'll heat it up for you to do a lot of different things with it, but if you need to cut steel, you need to get an oxyacetylene torch set up. And actually, proof of that is, if you're looking at, like, let's say, even if you had MAP gas and you had that 3,730 degree, Fahrenheit heat, you're still going to need an excessive amount more heat, to cut through steel. So you're probably looking at 6,300 or better, to cut through steel, depending on the thickness. So it's not going to cut steel. Can I use it to start like barbecues and fireplace fires? Yeah, it'll start coal, it'll start, burning wood without a problem. So you shouldn't have an issue if that's what you're using it for. Or if you want to keep it near your fireplace or your grill, no problem. Are the fittings universal? I would say that they are. I just buy, the blue canister cans at the hardware store or Home Depot. Those are the ones that I keep using, and the MAP gas bottles. Those are all standard threads, to the device. So I guess it depends on what you're doing, but for the most part, yeah, they're universal. No, it works great for heating up old rusty nuts and bolts. I've even used it to heat up bushings to remove them. And that's what I like about it. I can grab it, I can hit the trigger. You can see in the picture above me, it's got like lock off, lock, or unlock. And it's got, the trigger button. It's very easy to use. It's very convenient. Do I use it a lot for getting rusted nuts and bolts free? Well, yeah, that and bushings. It comes in really handy for it, and it's very fast and easy to use. So I like adding it to, my tool collection. Well, look, you're asking about the pricing. I don't think you can beat this price when you compare it to other vendors that sell, similar kinds of items that are much more costly. This works great. I don't have any problems with it. You just buy the tank separately. I've been more than happy for years that I've owned this. So, you can look around, and decide for yourself, but while it's on sale and considering, like I said, it's a few dollars more, I think it's a great buy. Question, what's it made out of? Well, it's made out of all metal except for the yellow rotary switch and that little fuel handle, the little black handle. But, no, this is, the quality control when these were made, it's great. It feels nice and heavy in your hand, and you know that it's well constructed when you feel it. Can I describe, how the flame adjustment would work? Well, on mine, and a lot of other people on the forum, it can take it from, like, if it's at max, which is like a flamethrower, and you can bring it down to about a candle-sized flame. So The adjustment's very nice depending on what you're going to use it for in the projects, whether, you're brazing or soldering copper pipe or whatever you're doing, I mean, in, the work that you do. But, I found that flame adjustment to be very handy, I mean, for a lot of different projects. My other ones are out there in a box somewhere. I've got like the single tipped ones and other ones. I mean, once I got this, rest of them are obsolete. I'll probably either give them away or get rid of them. I've never went back and used any of the other ones for anything. I mean, this, one here, just, it does everything for me, and I can leave it, like I said, hooked up to the bottle on my workbench. So I have no need for the other tips and things like that, and I didn't even want to get into the discussion of them because truthfully, they're obsolete once you buy this, this particular unit. Let me show you a couple other different slides before we wrap this up. I didn't mean for it to be long. It's just a quick review on this Bernzomatic TS8000. This is just a quick picture of showing you heating up some copper pipe before, soldering it. Okay, these are 3 pictures side by side by side. The first one here above my head is the one that was on the advertisement. The one next to it is how it comes packaged when it ships to you. I didn't want to blow it up anymore. It starts to get too grainy and fuzzy. And the one over on the right shows you the guy igniting it. So this gives you a real rough idea on, what you're getting. And he has it attached to MAP gas, but like I said, I don't believe that you really need that. So take a look at the propane bottles to start off with if you're going to buy it. They're inexpensive. It all ships prime. Have I ever had any problems lighting it? No. I used it the other night. I mean, as far as barbecuing goes, and there was wind outside, this thing will light in wind like you wouldn't believe. Just point it in the right direction so you don't get hurt. But I ignited it real quick. I mean, just to heat the coals and get them going. It works perfectly fine in wind. I wouldn't even worry about wind. This thing will light, I think, no matter what. Okay, a lot of the same questions over and over again. Can we use it for cooking? Can it be used to start, fireplace, all this stuff? We've already answered all that. I'm the home handyman. I hope you folks click subscribe. I hope you keep following me and drop me a comment. If you think that there's something else out there that's better, that's on sale, let me know. But like I said, for right now, this is a great buy at $42 over the TS4000, which is running you close to like 38 or 39 or 40 or whatever it was. I mean, just for a few dollars more, you get a much better, higher quality Bernzomatic torch. So click subscribe, follow me, drop me a comment. I'll talk to you folks on the next video. Everybody have a great day, and I hope you get one of these if you need it. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.